Already dropped frames. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back.
Thank you.
Ricardo Torres.
Oh my God. So good to be back.
It's been a long time, my brother.
I know.
So here we are. Ricardo is back in the studio.
Yes. Oh my God.
Here we go.
Finally, my wife is done with grad school, so it's like time to relax.
The man is back. The man, the myth, the legend. Ladies and gentlemen, Ricardo Torres.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we got a little, we got some music for the man right here. And I don't know what happened to my, the sound thing, whatever. It's all gotten silly. I can't even turn this thing up. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. It's amateur night.
Yeah.
But here we are. Cheers, my brother.
Cheers.
Salud. I'm just drinking alphabet soup. How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to turn it down a little bit, I suppose. Yeah, that doesn't take it down. All right. This is Mr. Brandon Hart. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not become familiar with this man, then please do check his music out because he is he's a great musician. You know, puts out some great music, and we kind of dig the dude. Next time we'll wear the shirts.
Yes.
Next time, Brandon, we'll have your shirts on for you, brother. All right. Anyway, so here we go. Anyhow, oh, you know what? I got this. I'm gonna turn that off. That goes. All right. Ricardo, welcome back, my brother.
Thank you.
It's good to see you, man.
I know it's been way too long.
Yeah, it has been. It seems like it seems like a lifetime ago, man. It's been a fucking while,
I was
dude.
once here in March, and then that's it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
Things have gone nuts too, man. We've been sitting here watching all this. I've been having problems with the audio output from the other monitor, so
yeah,
we're not going to be able to have any video to comment on. But we've been sitting here watching a bunch of this shit that's going on out there in the world. It's just a crazy shit show, you know.
Yeah.
And we were looking at the whole. You know, the whole transgender thing in athletics. And it just seems to me to be kind of an oxymoron, maybe not an oxymoron, but it seems to be like self-defeating to sit here and talk about the idea that, you know, we're going to give female athletics the same kind of platform that we would male athletics, but then we're going to let biological males compete against females, especially in the case of Leah Thomas.
Yeah,
and I don't care. I'm probably going to get banned for this. I respect Leah Thomas.
Yes,
and I would certainly refer to, if Leah Thomas were sitting right here, I would refer to Leah Thomas as she.
Yes.
And call her by the name she wishes to be called by.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with that. However,
when she goes into a swimming pool, then that creates a problem because there's other females who have been killing themselves to actually participate in the race, and it's not fair.
I'm glad you see it the same way I do.
Yes. Oh my God.
Because I mean, I feel like she was competing as a biological male for 3 years at the University of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And then transitions, which, hey, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's your life. And I mean, I think that you and I both come from the same standpoint on that. It's your life. I'm not going to sit here and tell somebody if you want to be a female, if you want to transit, whatever.
That's fine.
I don't have a problem with saying, you know, if you go from being Carl to Carla.
That's fine.
I'll call you Carla, and I will respect.
And I will treat you like a girl. It's fine.
Yeah. But the thing is you can't just say that you're going to go out and it would be like me becoming a female and going out and saying that I'm going to go play, play college fucking softball.
Yeah. And
that's going to happen. I mean, I was a coach in my 20s. And I actually did a lot of hitting lessons with females from the University of Washington softball team, the fast pitch softball team. Now, I tell you the truth, it's a whole different game.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's hard to hit those. I mean, those girls can, I mean, whew. I mean, I got in there and trying to hit that, they do that underhand shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I played hardball, men's baseball. And I mean, I'm used to picking up the ball, coming up here and coming down on, and so you get conditioned to, we call it the slot in baseball, right? Like you're picking it up right here is where, as a hitter, you're seeing the ball come from here and you're looking at arm angle and you learn to decipher those things. Well, I got in there with these women that played at the University of Washington. Yeah, they're doing like this underhand shit. And it's coming at you hard and it's fast and it's from a closer distance. And I mean, they're making that ball dive and dodge. I mean, and they make you look foolish. I mean, so there's not.
No, it's just that you're not used to it.
Right. But
you've never played against them.
Right. And I mean, I remember one day I'm sitting in there, it was around Christmas break, and I'm sitting there at the facility that I managed in Bellevue, Washington. And it's a Saturday morning, and I'm hungover, and I'm just like, ugh. and this female comes in, and she's got a bat bag. And I said, how you doing? I said, I'm sorry, I'm the only one here right now. And we don't have any softball machines that can be facilitated because I have to be up here and you need somebody to feed the machine. She goes, no, I want to hit off the hardball machine. I'm like, huh? And she's like, what's the fastest machine that you have? And I'm like, well, number one comes in about 95 miles an hour. Yeah. She's like, yeah, I'll take like 15 minutes on there. And I'm like, huh? And I'm like, okay. And so she gets in there, she steps up, and I turn the machine. And we had those iron mic machines. They have an arm that just comes up through it. It's got a basket of. I mean, the thing's whipping it. It's coming fast, and she just starts hitting seeds, just whack, whack, whack. And she runs through the whole basket. I stop the time. I go help her pick up the balls, in the cage, and I'm like, where the hell do you play ball at? And she's like, oh, Notre Dame. I'm just back here for Christmas vacation. I'm like, damn. I was like, I mean, so I've seen it. I mean, females can, I didn't see too many dudes that could get in there and hit that.
No, but there should still be a difference.
Right. But, and there was if I were to have jumped in the cage after her, I mean, there would have been a difference because, quite frankly, in my spare time, I would sit there. If there was nobody in the facility, I would go grab a bat and jump in there. And 95 miles an hour, really, it's fast. Yeah. It gets on you quick. But it's different when you know that it's coming from a pitching machine rather than if you're facing a guy on the mound that he's got that 95 mile an hour fastball, but he's also got an 88 mile an hour slider that's going to start at your left ear hole and cross the outside of the plate. And then he's also got, a changeup that looks like the 95 mile an hour and it comes in at 80 and drops off the, Yeah. It doesn't take much to time.
You've also got to be looking at first base, second base, third base. Is like,
you've got
it's like a whole other experience.
It is. And I've got nothing but respect for the females playing fast pitch softball in the NCAA and the females on the Olympic team. Trust me. Try going up against like a Jenny Finch or whatever. She'd own your ass. And they can, I've seen them throw that shit where it's just like it's coming at you from down here, and then just, it's breaking all, you're like, what the fuck? It's a whole different swing. I remember the first time I had to do a hitting lesson with a bunch of the girls from the University of Washington. And I'm like, I was telling the owner of the facility, he's like, hey, you got a hitting lesson with the, with the Washington Husky softball team. I'm like, dude, I don't know anything about it. It's a whole different swing. It's a whole different approach. They're trying to put the ball in play. They're almost moving through the batter's box and a lot of times they're just making contact and placing the ball, and I mean, I'm just like, I'm a power hitter, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, here,
Here
ladies,
comes
you know
the
what
ball.
you do? You get back, you put your weight on your back foot, and you just sit
Yeah.
back and, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And so there's a difference in, there's definitely a difference in our athletic abilities, and it doesn't diminish one or the other. It's just a difference, because we're built differently.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a purpose for that. There's a reason for that.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a biological difference between a man and a woman that,
And that's what I keep saying about that guy. It's like, if he wants to come here and be the girl's name, that's fine. I'll treat him like a girl. But
if he wants
having him step into a pool with other girls, obviously he's going to win it.
Right. Yeah. You look at I mean, she's Leah Thomas is, we're looking at a picture.
Exactly.
She's what, 6'2"?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the other two
They're
females
like
that are on the
5'8",
podium,
5'7".
and she's sitting there and smiling, and that's what gets me is that there's this sense of like, like she's really done something. It's like, I'm sorry.
I mean, it's great if you want to smile because you won a 6th place trophy. That's
but
fine.
she was as a male swimmer, she was 462nd.
Yeah.
In the country. Now, swimming, with biological females,
Exactly.
she just beats the living shit out of them. Now, I am all about, you can talk gender equity till you're blue in the fucking face.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is there are certain things that a man is going to do better than a female.
Yes.
And there's a lot of things that a female is going to do better than a man.
And there's nothing you can do to change that.
I don't have the nurturing. I don't have the or even there's a lot of other things too. I mean, when it comes to there's just different things that men and women do better than each other, and that's why there's it's complementary, and that's why that's why we biologically, for the most part,
it's kind of silly, but
like
right now, my wife is still breastfeeding Elena, so it's like I don't interfere with that. I don't even.
Can you do that?
No.
How? I mean, you could try. I mean, it's like there's an episode of Family Guy where Peter's got Stewie, and Stewie's sitting there sucking on his nipple, and like Stewie realizes, he looks up and goes,
it's like.
He starts like spitting and
Yeah.
I mean, like as a man, you're not going to lactate.
Yeah. No matter what. No matter how hard you try.
You can dump chocolate milk down your chest, whatever. You're not going to be able to titty feed a fucking kid.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, but that's part of the deal. I mean, it's just it's biology, man. I mean, I've seen these feminists. I saw one the other night. She's like, "Kill all males. Any male baby, just kill them." It's like, hey, stupid.
Yeah, you need males.
How do you think that females are produced?
Yeah.
Do you think that by scissoring your little bull dyke friend that you're gonna make a fucking baby?
Yeah, no. It's like
you're just gonna be able to scissor your friend, and then all of a sudden out pops another bull dyke? I mean, sorry. Oops, did I say that? I'm probably gonna get shut off.
No,
I'm just saying this fucking woman is a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
she's a fucking idiot. Kill all men. Okay, there's a good solution.
No.
Yeah, let's see how long that goes. I mean, literally, okay, let's kill all men. Let's kill all men. What are you bitches all going to go fucking Lord of the Flies and shit? I mean, how the fuck are you going to make, how the fuck are they going to make other babies? I'm sorry, but you need the baby batter.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe if that's the only way they need us, that's still...
Yeah, what are they going to do? Put us in cages and then, it's like you get to pick one? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's so fucking silly. It's so silly. And I'm not trying to disrespect women whatsoever. I have the utmost respect for the females. I mean, trust me, they go through and they do shit that we can't do. I mean, there's shit that a female can do that I do not want to have. I mean,
No, I have no desire.
I mean, we all have... that's part of it is we have our niche, right? I mean, as men, we have the role that we're supposed to fulfill. And a female is the same thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, when it comes to, you got a little baby. I mean, you can sit there and.
I don't even try. It's like,
what are you going to do? Yeah.
Maybe I'll take the baby from Alicia for like 2 and a half, 3 hours, but then it's like
she wants her mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I mean, and that's why it's, you know, I mean, that's why it's necessary for a child to have a know, a mother and a father. You know, I mean, that's biology.
Yes.
You know, and then it goes. We're talking about the new appointee to the Supreme Court, Katanji Brown Jackson. Now, I don't know her, and I even feel weird referring to her as her because she sat there and said she can't define a woman. She's asked by a congressperson, "Can you define a woman?" And she says, "Well, no, I'm not about." So it's like, at that point, can I refer to Katanji Brown Jackson as a female? Where's my frame of reference? It's like now we've got an appointee. She's been confirmed. I don't know if you saw the confirmation that they did on the White House lawn. And they're out there, and Slow Joe, I don't even know what he said. It was just gibberish. And he had Kamala Harris precede him in the whole speech-making thing. And Kamala, if you've seen her recently, all she does is laugh. Like she's over there, like she's sitting there, and we're talking about a humanitarian crisis going on in Ukraine.
Yeah,
and she's sitting there with the president of Poland, and they asked, you know, a journalist asked her what the United States standpoint would be on accepting refugees, and she goes, "Well, friend in need is a friend indeed," and laughs. How is that funny?
No.
You're talking about a war-torn fucking nation. You're talking about people that, you know, I mean, regardless of the politics behind it, you have people that are most certainly reaping the fucking destructive side of war. And I don't care where you're at with what anybody, you know, I mean, everybody's got an idea of what's happening. And this is a difficult war because 84%, when this fucking thing started, 84% of the United States in a poll did not even know where the fuck Ukraine was even at. But yet we're behind sending, you know, armaments and you know, planes and this and that and the other thing. And that falls on the taxpayers' head. You know, they're talking about the MiGs. I hope I never hear that word again. They're like, why don't you just let Poland is right there. Right? Like if they feel it's necessary to send 29 MiGs over to the Ukrainians, then guess what, Poland? Send them over. Why do we, as the taxpayers of this country, have to foot the bill? We have to do what they call backlogging it. And when we backlog it, we're sending them 29 brand new F-16s. That, I mean, we're talking about a price difference that, I mean, we're just all eating.
Yeah.
Because of this war in Ukraine. And it's a war that, from what I can tell, we've kind of initiated.
Yeah. Because
the agreement with NATO and Russia was that we were not going to encroach one more inch upon them. And so when we're talking about, you know, bringing Ukraine into NATO, then we're talking about missile bases and you know, military installations being put on the Russian border. And Putin, you know, and I'm not backing Putin. I'm not backing anything that he's done.
No.
I'm not justifying it. I'm not saying I'm behind any of it. I'm not glorifying it. I'm not even saying that, you know, I wholeheartedly believe that the death of innocent people is just, it's something that should not fucking happen.
No.
So I'm not saying that he is justified or correct or anything in what he's done. But I'm not saying that there's not fault on the other side. And he's made efforts to go to the table and say, let's figure this out. And it just didn't happen. And we've just thought that we could do this. And we have a weak fucking leader in this country. I mean, look at the guy. I mean, he's shitting his pants. I mean, he stands there and he can't talk. I mean, every time he opens his mouth, it's just another gaffe. It's just another example of how fucking laughable the United States is as a country.
Yeah.
I mean, on a global level, we are looked at right now as just the laughing stock of the fucking world. Whereas a couple of years ago, we were not. This shit wouldn't happen under Trump. And I don't care where you're at with Trump. I mean, like I've said over and over, I've not been a Trumper.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't all on his jock the last election. I was all about Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah.
A fucking female Democrat woman of color.
Yeah.
Right? That's who I had that's who I was throwing my hat was behind her. You know, I was like, this is the fucking one candidate that we have. And, you know, Hillary Clinton called her a fucking asset of Russia.
No.
We're talking about a veteran that's done 2 tours in Iraq as a medic. You know, and she has the audacity to say she's a fucking the audacity to say she's a fucking puppet of, you know, a Russian fucking puppet. Bullshit.
No way.
Hillary is the fucking Russian puppet.
Yeah.
I mean, how much money has Bill, old Slick Willie? I mean, he was making $500,000 a fucking pop for fucking 30-minute fucking speeches in front of, you know, these Russian banks, you know? I mean, she's the one that sold 20% of our fucking uranium to Russia. And yet, she, you know, and then I'm going to break the glass ceiling. She stands up there and glitches out and fucking, you know, I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. You know, and then if you're against Hillary, you're automatically a fucking misogynist. But if you have the stance I did, where, I mean, you can straight up fucking look at my fucking Facebook backlog and you can see that during the last, I mean, I was like, listen, Tulsi Gabbard is the fucking choice that you have to make. And I firmly still believe that. And when she sold out and she fucking backed fucking dipshit Joe Biden. Yeah. I was heartbroken, man, because I thought she actually, I mean, that really fucking bummed me out because I thought she stood for something, you know? And when that happened, I was just like, fuck. But now you see her, she's stepped out of the whole fucking game. She's on Fox News all the time. I mean, Hannity's had her on. And I think she's like, she's the type of individual that she's got that middle ground, you know, which is what we need in a leader. We don't need this politicized
it's
horse shit, this woke bullshit.
I swear, it's funny, but when I first moved to Wyoming, I was like, oh yeah, I'm super Democrat. And then after being here for like 2.5 years, I was like, no, fuck Democrats, fuck Republicans. I'm
right. Yeah. And that's where I'm at too.
Yeah.
I mean, I can pick up the decent qualities of both parties. And I think that both parties do have decent qualities. However, they're unwilling to relent on certain things. And to me, it's just like, you know, that's where I come to the point where I'm like, I don't give a fuck about either of them. Yeah. Yeah. Because they don't give a shit about us. They don't care about you. They don't care about me.
Yeah. Come the next fucking elections, I'm going to be like, what's the point? It's like,
right. I mean, they want you and I to fight with one another.
Yeah. No, but we live in fucking Wyoming. When is Wyoming going to turn blue?
Right. It's like, yeah. Well, and the thing is too, is everybody that runs in Wyoming, a lot of the politicians that run in Wyoming actually have more of a leftist leaning point of view on things, but they know that if they run on that platform that they're not going to win, so they run as Republicans. Yeah. And the thing with the system is that the thing that fucking pisses them off and the thing that they're scared of the most is seeing people like you and I sitting here and having the conversation, right? You're from Mexico City. Yeah. I was born in Juneau, Alaska, grew up right here in Cody, Wyoming. I mean, for you and I to be sitting here and have a conversation, they don't like that. No. I mean, you know, my best friend Joshua, you know, black man from Los Angeles. I mean, that's their worst nightmare, is the fact that a dude, you know, that a white guy will sit there and be willing to have the conversation that we have. You know, I mean, they don't like that. They don't like it because that undermines, you know, the way that they politicize everything. They don't give a fuck about us as people. They don't give a shit. Whereas I give a shit about your kids and your family and like and your well-being, and you the same way, you know. I mean, like, you know, we're friends. Yeah. And they fucking hate that.
It's like I show up and I immediately ask you, "Hey, where's Jackson?" And you're like, "Oh, he's asleep." Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and you haven't been here in quite some time.
Yeah.
And I mean, over and over said, well, hopefully we got Ricardo coming back soon. You know? and I mean, I'm glad you're here, man.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking makes my fucking night that you're here, brother.
It feels great.
You know, and I mean, you know, and that's the thing. It's like you'll hate that I call this man my brother.
Yeah.
And then he reciprocates that. And to the establishment.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we can't have that.
Why not?
Because we have the border crisis, and we're supposed to like dislike people, you know, Hispanic people and shit.
It's like,
and
I just became a fucking American.
Right, and that's what I said. It's like we have to have a better path to citizenship, and you know, I mean, that's what's made all this shit happen is the fact that we I mean, the United States of America, upon inception, and now. This gets crazy because we came over here from with our little boats and our fucking goofy hats and with our buckles on them and you know, according to the history, you know, we had our first Thanksgiving, and then the white people decided to take the land from the Native Americans, who we don't necessarily, I mean, they had to come from somewhere as well. I don't know. But you're talking about people that were in harmony with the land and you know, nomadic hunter-gatherers. And we show up and then, you know, we bring horses and firearms and whiskey. You know, I mean, I don't know. You can't really at this point in time say who's wrong or right. You can't go back and Monday morning quarterback it. But what we can do is care about each other. Yeah. You know, I mean, we took the Native Americans, and it always drives me nuts whenever you see they're always like, oh, this is the biggest mass shooting in history. And I'm always like, what about Wounded Knee? Yeah. Nobody ever brings that up. I mean, how many people died at Wounded Knee? I mean, how many Native Americans died at the behest of us giving them, you know, blankets that were full of smallpox, rancid meat that was full of disease, you know? And then we say, oh, well, you have to go over here and live on this shitty fucking, oh, wait, we found uranium. Now you got to go over here. You know? I mean, how many times has that happened to Native Americans? And I mean, you go out on a reservation and, you know, you see the conditions that those people live in, and it's heartbreaking because, you know, it's obviously, you know, it's not an equal system. Yeah. You know, you look at the neighborhoods in some of our bigger cities and shit, and oh no, you know, I mean, you're talking like about
such huge,
right? Yeah, and you're talking about young people that, you know. That's why I have a problem with the nationalism thing, the whole proud to be an American thing. Yeah. I mean, proud to be an American? Maybe. Not right now, I'm not. And I haven't been. Yeah. I'm not, because I don't feel like just the fact that, I mean, I didn't choose where I was born. Yeah. I didn't choose to be born a white male in Juneau, Alaska. Yeah. To, you know, a white mother and white father, and then end up in Cody White. I didn't make that decision. No. That was nothing that I had anything to do with. And being in America, I had as little choice in that as a child who's born in Iraq, Iran,
Mexico City,
Senegal, Mexico City, fucking Chiapas, Guatemala, like, fucking Brazil. None of us have a choice where we're born. We don't have. It's not like we're in our mother's womb and we make a decision. Well, I'm gonna as an embryo. You're like, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to be from Rio de Janeiro. Oh no. I want to be from Houston, Texas. And then all of a sudden you're born as a white baby to a mother of, you know, to Joel Osteen as your father. Oh my God. You know, I mean, seriously, nobody makes that decision. And so this nationalism, this whole proud to be, you know, I hate that fucking song, proud to be American. It's like, fucking, what the fuck you talking about? Yeah. You didn't have any fucking choice. Nope. You didn't have a decision in that. You were just born what you were born. Yeah. You didn't have a decision whether you were going to be born with a different skin color, a different, it's sort of to say, and it goes across the lines. I mean, to say that you've got brown pride, black pride, white pride. Dude, motherfucker, be proud of your actions.
Yeah.
Right? Like, as a human being, be proud of your actions. You can't just sit there and say, I'm proud of my skin color. And use that as a definition of who you are. Because the definition of who you are
is who you are.
It's based on, it's a merit. It's about action. It's about how do you behave? How do you interact with people? You know? I mean, that's the way I see it. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, the whole idea of this nationalism, this proud to be an American, and you know, fucking go fuck yourself. You know, seriously, it's like, you know, you didn't have nothing to do with it. Yeah, no. Just because you were born this way. With, you know, I mean, and like I said, I can change my fucking skin color. You know, I mean, Jesus Christ, what color am I? I mean, green, yellow, red, fucking blue. Yeah. I mean, I can change that. You know. Yeah. I mean, in a matter of minutes. You know. You know, I consider to be a white man. Yeah, okay. Am I proud of that?
You shouldn't be. It's
I'm not. I'm a white dude. I'm a Northern European. Yeah. And that's my fucking background. But you know what? It doesn't give me any right to say that I'm proud of that. That I'm higher than anybody else. No. It's just that's where I'm from. Yeah. Just like you're where you're from. Yeah. And it doesn't matter. It's like we're all fucking brothers and sisters. And that's what I want. No, I mean, that's the message I'm trying to get out is that, like, we're brothers, we're sisters. We need to love each other. We need to fucking look out for one another. We need to take care of each other. You know, bottom line.
When I was about to get married, my wife asked me, like, so where is your family from? And I was like, well, I'm 3/4 Spaniard, 1/4 Mexican. And I thought that she was going to get scared of that or, like, just react. And she was like, that's beautiful. And I was like,
you know what's funny, though, is that, like, Spaniards have a thing with Mexican people, right? You know,
and I was like,
I mean, because I mean, you speak in Spanish to a Spaniard, you know, and you've got that, you know, there's different pronunciations. Like if you speak Spanish, or if you know, and then I mean, I've heard people from Spain talk derogatorily towards Mexican people.
Oh yeah.
Big time, you know.
And it's like, that happens all the time. It's like,
and I think that's why, you know, like Mexican people refer to themselves as the, you know, the hijos de la chingada.
No, but it's like the Spaniards are the Gallegos. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I'm Mexican. I can show you my fucking passport. It says I'm Mexican. It's like,
but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And do you know that Mexico basically seceded 55% of their territory to the United States?
Yeah, exactly.
So to sit here and for us to have this border thing going on,
LA,
like
Las Vegas,
we took 55% of their land, and the Mexican people have been in turmoil since day one. I mean, one of the best classes that I was ever in college was a graduate level Mexican history class, and to sit there and go through the history of the country and I mean Mexico is I mean we've talked about this. I mean there's some crazy fucking history there. I mean going insane. Back to you go back from the, you know, from jump. I mean you're talking about, you know, the Olmecs. You know, and then, you know, I mean, you know, Jesus Christ, it's crazy to watch what happened there.
And it's so funny that you explained to someone that the Mayans and then the Aztecs are different. They're like, what?
Yeah, but people don't understand.
Yeah, it's like, no, they were so different. It is like, what?
Well, and even now you look at the different, you know, the different states of Mexico. I mean, you look at like, you know, Chiapas, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Chiapas is completely different than say, you know, I mean, you know, Sinaloa or fucking,
oh my God.
You know, I mean, and then you've got the cartels and just the different factions and everything. And people I don't think they understand.
No.
I mean, it's just, it's, I mean, I was trying to talk to my son the other night about Emiliano Zapata.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, I said, listen, I said, if there's a quote that you should ever understand from a person of influence, Zapata, it's like you should listen to what Zapata said when he said, I would rather die on my feet than live on my knees.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, and Pancho Villa, you know, and then you go back to, you know, you're talking about Porfirio Diaz, and I mean, white people don't understand.
Yeah. No,
and I'm not putting myself on, but I've studied it, and I still do. I mean, like yesterday, I was sitting here yesterday, and I was just going through, you know, the annals of the history of Mexico, and because to me, I mean, obviously, my heart goes out to the people that I see going across, you know, the Rio Grande coming, you know, and then the way that they're treated, and I think that people that want to have a better life for themselves should be able to do so.
Yeah.
And it's just, to me, it's just like, I mean, that territory, that area is, that's Mexico.
Yeah.
You know, and to sit here and say that, oh, you know, they're good, you know, it's like that South Park episode, they're going to steal our derbs. It's like, dude, if you're going to lose your job to somebody that doesn't speak the language, doesn't have the education, and just swam across a river with nothing, and you're going to lose your job to them, then you deserve to lose your job. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I mean, I got nothing but love for anybody, anywhere, to tell you the truth. But I mean, I've got so many people that I consider family that live south of the border, you know, cats I was locked up with, cats that I would do anything for. And I know they'd do the same for me. I mean, I would welcome these dudes in my home any fucking time.
Yeah.
I mean, I welcome anybody in my home. Unless you're going to be a fucking jackass, you know, but I mean, it's just crazy. We've got this whole deal that I don't know. I don't know, man.
It's supposed to make us different. It's like,
right. Yeah. The whole thing with borders.
No.
I mean, my perception on it, my thought is like, you know, why do we need fucking borders?
We don't.
I mean, if it's so good here and so bad there, and wouldn't it even itself out?
But you know,
in time, it's going to even itself out.
It's kind of funny that people who live on the border, they cross the border to send their kids to school in the U.S. and then they just pick them up on that side of the border. It's like, wait. Yeah. I mean, you know, part of me says, like, if we didn't have this border, if we wouldn't have these problems. And I'm not, you know, and everybody goes, oh, well, you're a fucking globalist. You're a fucking, yeah, maybe I am. Yeah.
Maybe I think that we're all brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Maybe I think that we're all fucking related in one way or another. You know, I mean, I was sitting there trying to talk to my kid the other day about, we're talking about the whole fucking concept of Adam and Eve, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If that was true. If that is the story and that's how people came about, dude, we're talking about some mad fucking incest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you got Adam, Eve, okay? You got A and B, right? Yeah. Okay, so they bump uglies and she pumps out a fucking couple of units, right?
Yeah.
The one brother kills the other brother. Okay, so how do we have anybody else? Okay, so then that means that brother went and fucked his mom, right?
Yeah.
So you have if that's what you're going to say. I mean, true. And you hear these Christians say, well, it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
No.
It's like, well, if it's Adam and Eve, then it's fucking incest. I mean, really, it is.
It's the only way in which we could have.
But then you bring that up to these Christian people, and they're, oh, well, you don't understand. There was other tribes. It's like, well, okay, but it's like you say that this is biblical, and it was Adam and it was Eve,
and those were the two first.
And then if you bring it up and you say, well, think about this. It's like, do you think that maybe the snake, maybe the serpent was God, and like God was the devil?
Not mention that. It's like,
oh, that blows their fucking mind. Because, I mean, if you think about it, if you look at it, if you look at the way that it's laid out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, God is saying, do not eat that apple.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Eat the apple.
I mean, as a young person, when somebody tells you not to do something, you're like, all right, I'll show you.
Yeah.
I mean, so what if the serpent was actually God? And what if God was actually the devil?
Yeah.
Because the devil, I mean, God was supposedly telling Adam and Eve, he was trying to prohibit them from learning I mean, we're talking about, they called it the tree of knowledge, right? Why wouldn't we want to eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge?
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you? I know that's where I came from. I mean, when I got out in the world, I mean, I wanted to find out. I wanted knowledge. I wanted to know. I mean, the main reason that I wanted to leave this fucking town was so I could get out there in the world and see what the fuck was actually going on out there, you know? So you look at it, but you bring that to people that are you know, they're dogmatic in their religion, and you say, well, what if the serpent was God?
Oh my God, it's like,
and they lose their minds. They lose their minds because, you know, they can't even wrap their head around the fact that maybe everything that they've been taught their whole life, everything they've bought into might be incorrect. It might be wrong. And I'm fine with being wrong. I mean, I've flopped and flailed so many times. I am just perfectly okay with it because I know that that's part of life. It's part of growing. It's part of growth. It's part of becoming you know, a complete person is failure.
See, it's funny, but when I was younger, I read the Bible, I read the Quran. Why? Because I wanted to experience more.
Right. And there's a lot to be, and I've read the Quran myself.
Yeah.
And I have really close friends that are Islamic, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, I trust those, you know, I trust those two. And I've read their book and I've read our book. And guess what? They say, oh, the Quran is full of just, you know, it's evil and violence. And read the fucking Old Testament, motherfucker.
It's like,
that shit's brutal as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, they made motherfucker go up on the side of the mountain with his kid. Fucking down. Abraham goes up there with Isaac. He's got to kill, you know, because God told him to.
It's like, wait, what?
Moses goes out in the... Are we
talking about the same God? Or?
Right, yeah. I mean, the things that God supposedly said to do, I mean, you look at how misogynistic it was. I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's nuts. And the 10 Commandments, come on. The 10 Commandments boils down to one fucking thing. Do no harm.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't need 10 of those motherfuckers. Nope. Do no fucking harm.
And love each other. It's
do no harm. It. That's why I end the show every time. I end the show with be good at it, in all things be kind, and do no harm.
Yep.
I mean, if you go along with those ideals,
you don't need anything else.
Then you know what? I mean, you're going to exit, because the one thing we all have in common is we're all going to die.
Yeah.
You know that. You've been very close. I mean, with your story, dude, you've been right there. On the other
side, more on the side.
Yeah. You've had a crazy experience and come out to where you are right now.
Yeah.
I've had death experiences. You know, I mean, I've been in circumstances where I was not supposed to fucking come through. And I did. It has been a medical thing, but I mean, like, your story is fucking crazy, bro. You know, and that's why when I met you, I was like, dude, you have a story to tell. You remember when I met you? What'd I tell you?
Yep.
I said, dude, you have a story to tell.
I was like, no.
Yeah, and I knew you did. And
here we are.
Yeah, and you've been able to tell your story.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a crazy fucking story. It's it's unlike any other, you know? And I mean, it changed your perception.
Oh, yeah.
The things you've been through changed your perception of, you know, who you were and
it changed.
And the way you looked at the world. And
it changed everything. Yeah. It's like before I used to live just to make money and this.
Right.
And now it's like, no. It's like, take it easy. Money matters, but it shouldn't be at the top.
Right. And that's the problem, is that's what motivates everybody. I mean, it's all about money. We look at the way that we raise our children. It's all about money. You know, it's like, you got to go to college and get that degree and then go get a job doing something you fucking hate. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, who wants to do that? I mean, there's a spot for everybody, you know? Yeah. And I think that if we were to look at that and it as far as education goes, and understand that every kid has got something different to offer.
Yeah.
But we try and box everybody in, you know? It's like, well, you have to do this. You have to get this grade point average. You have to go to this school. Otherwise, you're not going to get a good job. But then the first thing you do when you turn 18 is you go to school and you go into debt.
Yeah.
You go into debt.
Yeah.
You know, and then all of a sudden you're thrown into the kind of a real world, you know, because you go to college. I mean, I remember my freshman year. I mean, all I wanted to do was fucking rebel.
Yeah.
Because I'd grown up in a family that was like,
Oh,
you're going to do, and all I'd done was, I knew that, you know, at that point in time, like to go to college, everybody didn't just go to college. Like, you either had to have great grades, you know, and great ACT scores, or you had to be able to like fucking hit a ball with a stick.
Yeah.
Which is what I could do. And I knew that's what I could do, was hit a ball with a stick. So that's what I pursued.
Yeah.
Because that was the only way that I could see myself getting out of this town. And here I am back here, you know?
Amen.
But I mean, the whole, you know, I mean, I remember talking to my parents about it. I'm like, I really don't want to go to college. And they're like, no, you're going to college. And I'm sitting there thinking, what am I going to do? Like, I went into college. I didn't know.
Yeah.
It was like general. I mean, I remember taking the math placement test, and I spelled out abacadabra on the Scantron because I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, math didn't make a fucking bit of sense to me at that point in time. Now I understand it a lot more. I mean, it took until my 30s to figure it out, but you know, I mean, we don't understand, and the way we educate our children is not based on who they are. It's like what we want them to be. No, and it's like we don't accentuate, you know, their strengths, and we don't eliminate their weaknesses, which is something that we should do as adults, as an educational system. I mean, we should say, okay, and you know, nothing against educators,
no,
because they're put in a bad position too, and they've been taught this their entire life. I mean, people that are educators, people that are teachers, I mean, they've gone through the system, and this is what they're told to do, and I don't think they have bad intentions, but we have young people that are going through the system that they do have strengths and weaknesses that are, I mean, we should take a child's weakness and we should just push that to the side, and we should accentuate their strengths. And they don't come through a system that does that. You know, and if they did,
in our system, they've got to take all the classes and then
and go through the status quo, take the standardized test. And I mean, look at all the people that have been influential in the world, and look at how many of them have been like dropouts, like Einstein, right? Dropout. Elon Musk, for example, especially that's relevant to our time period right now. Dropout. You know, I mean, here he is, you know, he was having a problem with Twitter and everything. What do you do? Now he's the majority shareholder. You know, the dude fucking he's a dropout. I mean, he's got vision. I mean, he's a, you know, he can facilitate these different. He has a vision of what's to come. I mean, this guy is, you know, I mean, he's running Tesla, and no, he didn't create Tesla. But you know what? Without him, it wouldn't be what it was. I mean, it's what it is. Yeah. And the crazy thing is, he comes out and says, "Hey, we need to start drilling again." I mean, you know, and these people, they all want to eliminate, you know, gas vehicles and this and that. Hey, dude, I'm all for fucking, you know, renewable resources.
But you gotta do it.
You can't
the
just
right pace,
you have to fucking develop it.
Yeah,
it has to be developed. It has to be implemented. It has to be.
It can be just like that. And
you can't just say, "Oh, in 2030 you can't drive a gas vehicle in Washington." I mean, people don't understand that. What's it take to make an electronic vehicle? I mean, what's it take to make? I mean, for fuck's sake, I mean, petroleum. Yeah. You know. Microphone, I mean, everything that we're doing right now is from petroleum. Yeah. You know, so what are we gonna do? Start like rubbing twigs and berries together? No. I mean, you know, you want to talk about like the internet, petroleum. Yeah. I mean, what's the common compound? And I mean, remote fucking control. What's that made out of?
Petroleum.
Right. It's plastic, petroleum, Velcro, petroleum. Sticky shit on there, petroleum, pen, ink. I mean, all of it. You know, I mean, which, you know, I've had a couple episodes since you've been gone where I've talked about fossil fuels.
Yeah.
Because I don't personally believe that fossil fuels are fossil fuels.
Yeah.
I don't think by any stroke of the imagination that what we're pumping out of the ground came from dinosaurs.
Yeah, no.
There's no fucking way. There's no, we go through 21 million barrels in this country, in the United States, 21 million barrels per day of fossil fuel. Now, how many dinosaurs do you think it would take stacked up upon one another, or plant material, or whatever you say,
Yeah.
to get 21 million
Oh my
barrels?
God.
Does anybody out there, do you understand what 21 million is? That's a lot.
Yeah.
People can't count that high. I mean, I know motherfuckers that can't count to 100. I know motherfuckers that don't even know the fucking states and capitals. Now, I learned that at like 4 years old, but there's motherfuckers that that I know that are doctors that can't tell you. I can sit here and name them all off if you'd like, but to sit here and say and to be so audacious as to say that everybody refers to it as fossil fuels. It's not. It's not fossil fuels. It's not. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
If it was in fact fossil fuels, then you're talking about dinosaurs standing on top of dinosaurs. You're talking about brontosaurus motherfuckers standing on top of each other.
Oh my God.
And them big motherfuckers, they don't want anybody in their territory. They're big ass fucking.
Yeah.
An average, a cow per day has to consume, I put this out the other day, I think it was 26 basically cubic feet of plant matter.
Wow.
A brontosaurus was 1,150. Right? Like, see that big ass rock?
Yeah.
Sitting there right next to your tomato juice? Okay, that's a gastrolith. That is a gizzard stone from a dinosaur. So there is an animal out there that swallowed that up, took it in, and that's what they would use it, like a chicken does.
Yeah.
They would use those stones to break up what they were eating. I mean, look at the thing. Pick that up. It's 30 pounds.
Yeah.
It's 30 pounds, that stone. And I find all those sitting there, they're all gastroliths. And so where you find those, there's dinosaurs buried underneath. And so to sit here and tell me that that's where like oil came from.
Oh my God.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way. When the world goes through nearly 100 million barrels a day of oil. And what they've done is they've gone back to places where they've sucked a well dry, they've abandoned it, and they've gone back 20 years later, 30 years later. Guess what? Full of oil.
Yeah.
So, they call it abiotic fuel, which basically means that it's regenerating itself. And say what you want about it. I don't care. I don't know. I'm not saying that that's a fact. But what I am saying is that fossil fuels are not fucking fossil fuels.
Yeah.
I'm straight up telling you right now, it's not. I talked to my dad about this the other day, and my dad he worked in Oregon Basin here for 33 years, 34, maybe 35. Then he went on he left here and he worked for another number of years, until, the financial collapse or whatever. And he got out of it. But the man spent nearly 40 years working in the industry. And I asked him a couple of weeks ago, I said, Pops, I said, tell me the truth here. Fossil fuels. I'm like, from that, and he started laughing.
Like, no.
He goes, hell no, man.
They're not making a difference.
And I said, Dad, you know what? I said, I've never talked to you about this, but I said, I've asked a number of people that I know in the industry, like, to explain it to me.
Yeah.
And I've sat down with them, like, listen, okay, you're a driller, you're whatever position you have out on the rigs. I'm like, tell me, can you honestly tell me that fossil fuels came from? I go out there and I find fossils everywhere, and they're on the surface, like 5 miles out that way. I've got I've got buckets of them. That's just a start, right? Those are the big ones right there. You should see I've got literally 5-gallon pails full of, and I can go out there and just scoop them off the top of the soil. So you can't tell me that, oil comes from,
No.
If these fossils were, you know, I mean, like the gryphate that I find, right? They're like supposedly 200 million years old. Okay, so they're 200 million years old, yet I'm finding them on the surface of the earth. Yeah. Like my dumbass goes out on my fucking dirt bike, and I'm literally can just scoop them up by the thousands. I can find dinosaur bones. You know, gryphate. I've found dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I'm not telling anybody where they're at. Sorry. Because I don't want you fucking motherfuckers out there digging up, you know. But I know where they're at. I mean, I found 3 and maybe 4. Maybe 4. I don't know. I can't excavate them, but I can tell you what, I know where they're at. But I'm not going to tell you motherfuckers because I don't want y'all out there digging them up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but I can go out there and I can now at this point in time, I can go out and tell you where you're going to find fossils. I can look at the landscape and say, okay, right over there, you're going to find, you know, a bunch of, you're going to find a bunch of, you know, this, that, and the other fucking thing. Over here, you're going to find big ass fucking bones. Yeah. And I mean, in 2018, they found a woolly mammoth just miles from where I go out to. And I mean, but I don't personally want these motherfuckers going out there and just digging up the shit. It's my backyard. Exactly. It's my backyard, you know? Fuck them. And they're just going to come up with some bullshit that tries to explain it based on science. And science is nonsense. It really is. Yeah. I mean, look at science. What's science done for us in the last 2.5 years? Nothing. Look at what science has done with COVID-19. It's 2022 and we're still dealing with COVID-19. And we're some fucking, you know, science is infallible. It's like, really? So we can't figure out how to deal with some fucking virus. Yeah. Because science.
If it's so infallible, why does it affect certain people differently than others? Why do we pay to develop it? Why did my brother-in-law pass away of COVID while I got COVID and now I'm like...
Well, it's just like, you know, any of these viruses. I mean, the one that I've stumbled upon lately is the avian flu. There's been 27 million chickens and turkeys have been killed. 17 million, I believe, is the number in Iowa alone. And Iowa is the #1 chicken egg producer in the country. And it's H5N1 is the avian flu. Yeah. And so if one bird is found in these, you know, in these farms, which you've seen them, I mean, they're crazy huge. They have to kill them all. So they've euthanized 27 million birds as of the other day. It's probably more now. Yeah. They just finally put the story out the other day. This is another story that I put out there, and I'm sure that I probably got shadow banned over that. I mean, it happened when I put out the story about the study in you know, the study that they did with in vitro human liver cells, and the fact that when exposed to the vaccine, it changed the DNA. Mm-hmm. I got banned for 2 weeks. 2 days later, John Campbell, Jimmy Dore, they come out with the same story. Did they get banned? No. Nope, but I did. Did I get an apology? No. Fuck you. You're done for 2 weeks. So I sit there for 2 weeks and I can't fucking say a goddamn word. I can't say a fucking thing. Even though before they came out with the story, I came out with the story, but I get shut down. I'm just some fucking jackass in his fucking house in Wyoming. I mean, and I get shut down. You know, I mean, people don't understand what's going on.
It's so unfair. If you look at like the whole society, how it's built is like.
Well, they look at what they look at people that pose dangerous information. Yeah. And as soon as you pose dangerous information to them, they're gonna fucking shut your ass down. Yeah. And I've come to learn that, and I don't really give a fuck. I'm gonna keep putting out dangerous information. I mean, because that's how I am. I don't give a shit. I'm stupid. I'm not gonna play ball. I'm not gonna sit there and you know, I'm not gonna roll over and go with you know, the narrative and what they want me to say. You know. Yeah. No. And I mean, and I think that there comes a point where we have to have a platform where people can actually speak. Yes. They're so afraid. Everybody's so afraid of anybody that speaks truth. You know what I mean? why would you have to shut somebody down? If somebody's saying something that's blatantly just bullshit,
Yeah.
why shut it down? It'll get shut down on its own if it's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's the people that speak truth that get shut down because they don't want fucking anybody hearing that shit because it's detrimental to the narrative.
Yeah.
It's detrimental to their fucking end game. You know? Excuse me.
No.
Might have the fucking road.
It just pisses me off. It's like,
Yeah, I mean, if you have the audacity to stand up and speak the truth, then they're going to shut you down, and that's fine. But guess what?
we'll see.
I mean, that's how it goes, man. You know, I mean, that's how. I mean, you know, everybody wants to talk about it, America, and this. Well, how did America? I mean, we said fuck you to England,
Yeah.
but yet we come over here and instead of
we fight Native Americans.
yeah, instead of being harmonious with the Native Americans, we just
Yeah.
annihilate them,
And take their lands.
and then we sing songs. And then we enslave black people, you
Yeah.
know? I mean, so you really can't look at, like, every time I hear that stupid fucking Lee Greenwood song, Proud to Be in America, it makes me fucking ill, dude. Like, it makes me ill because I'm not proud to be an American.
Yeah.
I love this country. I love where I'm from,
Yeah.
but I'm not, like, there's not a lot of this shit in this country that I'm proud of. I'm not proud of the death of George Floyd. I'm not proud of what happened to black people. I'm not proud of the fact that we stole lands from Native Americans and the Mexican people. I'm not proud of that.
Yeah, no.
But why would I be? Why do I had nothing to do with it. And sort of label me as being a part of that because I'm a white man is bullshit as well. And I don't like that.
No.
Because I mean, you can't fucking come at me for something that I didn't do.
Yeah.
You know, you can look at my personal history and come at me if you want to.
If you find something that offended
that's
you.
fine. But when just because my skin tone is a certain skin tone, I mean, you can't come at me and say that I'm responsible for this, that, and the other fucking thing, you know? And I mean, I don't look at other people I mean, it just drives me nuts, man. It makes me crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, when do we fucking finally get to the point where we just recognize one another as brothers and sisters and that we're all here and we're here for a short time. And the better we can make it for each other, the better.
And like,
I mean, there's enough resources.
I mean, thinking, let's just enjoy the time that we have.
Right.
It's like, fuck
There's
everything
enough,
else.
Yeah, there's enough for all of us.
Yeah.
That's the thing, man. There's enough for all of us. And this greed and this pursuit of money, I think is the big detractor from the whole experience. Because I don't think these people that have all this money and this fame, I mean, you look at like these Hollywood actors, right? What does an actor do? They're fake.
Fakes, goes and
phony.
acts whatever
they're phony. And we idolize these people.
He just goes and says whatever's on the script,
right?
and that's it.
He's behaving like he's basically lying, or she's lying. I mean, being an actor, or it's a lie.
Yeah.
And yet we emulate these people. We put them up on this fucking pedestal. We have red carpet events for them and whatever. You know, you had that fucking dude slap Chris Rock across the face.
Oh,
I mean, how many times have you seen that fucking dumb shit?
Yeah.
It was obviously a fucking put on. I mean, he's sitting there laughing at the fucking joke Chris Rock makes about his wife. He's laughing.
Yeah.
If we were to watch it,
and
he's
then
laughing.
the next second he
and
stands
then looks,
up.
he looks at her. He looks at his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, and he looks over at her, and she's like, she's got that fucking grumpy look. And so he gets up and fucking goes up, and then, I mean, we're talking the dude that played Muhammad Ali, and Will Smith was built for that movie. I mean, he obviously put in his time. He was emulating one of the, probably the best boxer ever. I mean, he was able to build that physique where he kind of had the little baby pudge, but yet he was still, and he did a very good job. I mean, and he goes up, and Chris Rock is like 5'8". I mean, you watch the video, he's standing on the up ramp. He didn't even get to the fucking stage area. He's still on the up ramp, and he stands straight up, and he does this goofy straight back fucking, I mean, Dude, if you're pissed off about somebody
Yeah.
saying some shit about your wife, you're going to go up there and you're not going to fucking just slap them.
No.
Dude, you're going to go up there, especially if you're that dude,
yeah.
you're going to go up and you just wham. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you're gonna, I mean, what the hell? It's assault one way or another. Yet they
Yeah.
let him go sit back down and then receive the next award. And you're telling me that, it's just it's a crime of passion.
No.
Bullshit. And Chris Rock, you watched him when he was if you slow it down, I'll slow it down when we get done with it. Because he sat there and he went like this. I mean, he was bracing it. He knew it was coming. I think the whole fucking thing was orchestrated. And I don't even want to even get into it. My point is that we've got a country, that we've got this shit going on in fucking, in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And we all sit here and we go, well, what happened with the Will Smith and Chris Rock thing?
It shouldn't be.
And then you've got like the fucking Jake and whatever those brothers are, those goofballs that fucking consider themselves fighters.
Yeah.
They were trying to offer $40 million for Will Smith and fucking Chris Rock to fight each other. Like Chris Rock is going to agree to go in the ring with fucking Will Smith.
It's fucking insane. It's like,
but he might whoop his ass. You never know. I mean, it's just so dumb. I mean, this is what we do. We fucking take these people and we emulate them and we put them on this pedestal because they act.
Yeah.
Because they fake being somebody. So these people, they're not even themselves. They live their lives faking being somebody else. And they talk about like your Daniel Day-Lewis's and your Christian Bales. These guys are truly artists. They get inside that role, and while they're filming, you have to address them as their character. It's like, what kind of fucking jackass are you? You know, what kind of jackass are you to go and like you're gonna play this role, So that's who you're gonna be every day. You will address me as derpy derp. Like they don't get out of character.
Yeah.
And then they say, well, this is a great actor. It's like, no, it's not. It's a delusional fucking circus monkey.
Yeah.
I mean, it's somebody that has just decided that they're just going to fucking take on somebody else that's not who they, that's what actors are. That's what politicians are too.
Yeah.
They're not who they are. They're just phonies. Like, I'm going to be this. How about you be you?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's the problem, man.
The world would be such a better place if everyone was just themselves. It's like,
right.
And
if everybody just recognized everybody else with respect and dignity, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing is that we've got, it's a taught behavior. It's learned. It's, as children, we don't do anything except, you've got little kids. Yeah. You see how they interact with other people, other kids. There's nothing about, anything about I remember, back to a certain age, but I never started thinking about other kids as far as racial things are concerned or, anything like that until it was taught. Until
there was one black guy in my preschool where I went in Mexico. There was one black guy. There was an Iranian guy who ended up in my Catholic preschool for some dumb fucking reason. And they're trying to teach us the Old Testament, and the guy is like, I have no idea what that is. And yeah, but anyways, so he was there, and it's like. Yeah. And you know what? At that age, you don't care what religion they belong to. You just want to make friends, and you just
right. Yeah. My good friend Jeff, he lives in San Diego now. He was the only black dude. In Cody, and he and my brother Tom and I, we were great friends growing up. Great friends. And there was never any mention of it was never even. It was like, let's go hang out with Jeff, Exactly. And then to this day, Jeff and I still talk all the time. We hang out, and the crazy thing is he left here in 8th grade, right? I didn't know where he went. I end up transferring to a college, and I'm walking in and out, unloading my shit, and there he is. He's standing there.
Yeah.
And in Nampa, Idaho. Also, probably one of the only black dudes there. And I keep walking in, and we keep catching each other's eyes, and it's like. I'm like, I'm bringing all my shit in, and I'm like, finally I stop. I'm like, dude, where do I fucking know you from, man?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know, but I know you from somewhere too, And I'm like, where are you from? And he's like, well, I grew up in Cody. Jeff. He's like, Mike. Yeah. And we still, we communicate all the time. And we went through shit out there with fucking, Nazis and shit like that. And he's my brother, and there was never any thought of that growing up. That it was like, the only time it ever came into consideration that was after, like, being 18 years old and then you look back, and you see that, but then the only reason you place a difference on individuals is because that's what you've been taught. That's what you've learned. People don't, and I think that's what we need to work on more than anything is just the understanding that, and people talk about globalism and how it's all bad and this and that, and how it's bad. I honestly, I don't, if you take globalism out of the hands of the oligarchs and the people that have the money, I don't see how that's an issue. No. I don't see how it's an issue to treat people from wherever they're
respect,
from as your brother or your sister. It doesn't matter because we all came from the same stardust.
Which is what I loved about you, that you just came to a liquor store and you were like, you have a story. And I was like,
yeah, you didn't, you were like, you were standoffish about it for a while. But most of my good friends are different than me. Not in the fact that, as far as being people, but just different as in appearance and, background or skin color.
Yeah.
Which is stupid. Like I said, I can change my skin color in a matter of fucking seconds. That's literally what it means. Your skin color doesn't mean shit. No. We're all fucking human beings. We're all people. And we should treat each other with respect.
Yeah.
Regardless, but I think what we've allowed to happen is that we've allowed these people that we hold in high esteem
to come between us.
Yeah, they're the ones that are dealing the deck, and it's fixed, and they're doing it because they stand to benefit from it. They just fix the game, and they want to alienate people from one another. Because, their biggest fear, like I said earlier, their biggest fear is that people from different backgrounds, understand that, like you and I do, that we're brothers.
Yeah.
You're from a completely different place than I am. But we're still brothers. But we're still brothers. Yeah, we're still brothers. I would do anything for you, dude. Yeah. And I know you would do the same for me, man. I would go to the fucking line for you no matter what, and I know you'd do the same. And I've got tons of friends like that are from different fucking backgrounds and we're not supposed to be friends. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. And that's what the elite, they fucking rely on that. They rely on that division that, well, we can call this Chinese. So now we hate Asians, right?
Yeah, no, it's like,
it's a Chinese virus. So now everybody hates bullshit. No. Dude, all my Asian brothers and sisters out there, I love all you. I had a friend when I lived in Seattle back in the day. Oh God. I used to drive her fucking nuts. But she always wanted to go shopping. She'd come over to the house. She's just a friend, this girl, Lynn. And she was Chinese, and I would just give her every living shit. Like, we'd be driving to the fucking mall, and I'd be like, Jesus Christ, fucking you driving while Asian, what the, and she'd give it back to me, and like, we'd go to the mall and, go to different stores, and I'd end up going into like Victoria's Secret with her, and she'd be sitting there like looking at something, and I'd stand behind her, and I'd go, and she fucking Mike, shut it, just embarrassed. We'd be walking down the bar, and she'd stop and look at something, and I go, and she'd be behind the wheel. I'm like, Jesus Christ, why don't you let me fucking drive? You Asians can't, she's like, fuck you, you cracker motherfucker, But it was funny. It was like, we made fun of each other, but yet, I would have done anything. We were just friends. I would have done anything for that girl, and I still would if I ever saw her again. And I would love to see her again. She was awesome. And we just had that weird friendship. I mean, I had that. There's a friend of mine named Bill Kim in Eugene, Oregon, right? And Bill and I used to hang out all the time. And we had one of those nights where we had one of those discussions, right? Which it's not bad to have that discussion. No. And he told me, he goes, Mike, he goes, here's the thing, man. He goes, there's not a single day that goes by. He goes, I'm on the radio station, and he was a DJ, on the University of Oregon. Yeah. They had a radio station, and he's, he was born here in America. He was Korean. He was the firstborn Korean, in the United States. So his voice sounded like mine. Yeah, he didn't have the accent. But he told me, he goes, Mike, he goes, I can be on the radio and people think that I'm just a white dude. And he goes, but there's not a day in my life that goes by that I'm not reminded of the fact that I'm Korean.
Yeah.
And I said, man, that's fucked up. Because I was sitting there at that point in time in my life, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I'm not reminded of the fact that I'm white every day.
Yeah.
But yet this guy who's a good friend, like this is my brother. I mean, like Bill was he's my brother. I mean, I hope he hears this. I'd love to see you, Bill, because it's been a long time. But I mean, he was a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And I never looked at him like that.
No.
It was just Bill. It's Bill Kim.
Yeah.
But when he told me that, it kind of broke my heart a little bit, because I was just like,
yeah.
I was like, fuck, dude, that's what you have to live with every day? It's like, no matter what you do, you have that precursor behind, like,
yeah. It's like
you're a Korean American. Yeah. You're not just an American.
You are Korean, and it's for life.
Like I looked at him like, this is my boy Bill.
Yeah.
I mean, I never introduced him to any of my friends or anything like, oh, this is my Korean friend.
No.
It's like, hey, man, say what's up. Hey, Bill, this is my boy, whatever, And the people I knew, I had friends, out there on the West Coast. I mean, I ran with all sorts of different, and I never was. I fucking ran with fucking Ethiopian dude for a while.
Oh my God, I love it, Ethiopians.
God, the food was amazing. Yeah, him and his cousin, they had, their family owned a fucking Ethiopian restaurant in Seattle. It was so good. And I would go in that restaurant, and I was treated as family. And I considered them to be my family. There was never a thought of, we've got different colored skin.
No. You know what's funny is that at RRD, where I used to work, it's like 85% of the workforce are Ethiopians. So it's
right.
Like,
yeah.
And did I care? No. They invited me to...
Yeah, what's it matter?
Yeah, they invited me to eat with them at Ethiopian restaurants, and I was like...
Fucking great food, bro.
Yeah, I was like...
Dude, you have not had a good meal.
Like, do you mind spicy food? And I was like, not really. They're like, oh, no, you're at home. And then they ordered it for me, and I was like, holy fuck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, my friends in Seattle, I'd go to their family's restaurant. I would walk into that restaurant, even if I wasn't if I was not with Salam or Tay, I could walk in there and, the people in it, hey, Mike, how you.
Yeah.
I was treated as family, and I respected, it was just it was like, you respect people.
Exactly.
Like we've lost that. We've somehow begun to we do this fucking, this virtue signaling bullshit, and it's like, oh, you're white, you don't have anything to, like as a white male, at this point in time, a white male is probably one of the most persecuted people on the planet. And it's like, and it comes from these fucking idiot, fucking woke mother, So I just always say, be awake. Don't be woke. Be awake.
Yeah.
I'm woke. Well, that's grammatically incorrect, sir.
Exactly.
Be awake. That's my point. Just be awake. This woke shit, this fucking garbage of, this virtue signaling, this fucking identity politics.
Oh my God.
It's
like, just quit.
The best thing that we could do is just walk away from the political system. Just say, fuck this and fuck them. What has government done for you?
Nothing.
Anything good?
Yeah, no.
It's not done anything good for me. The only thing that's done for me is cost me money. Just like last month, my 46th birthday, I have to go to the fucking DMV and pay them $45 to get a copy of my driver's license.
Yeah.
I'm 46 motherfucking years old.
Yeah.
I've been driving for 30 fucking some odd years. Why do I need to go pay $45 to get this stupid thing? Or go down when my, I own my trucks. I own my vehicle, but I still got to go pay.
Exactly.
Like my fucking old ass 1985 Ford F-150 out there. I got to go pay $97 by the end of the month so I can put their stupid tag on the fucking truck. I own the truck. It's my truck. What the fuck? What am I paying this money for?
Yeah.
Why? So they can employ somebody?
So it can say that it belongs to Ford.
But so they can, they can see who it belongs to regardless of that. I mean, you shouldn't even have to pay for it to begin with. They're like, well, because of the roads. It's like, well, look at the fucking roads. They're full of potholes and shit. They don't plow the motherfuckers. It's like, they don't plow the motherfuckers. They don't, it's just in $45. I'm like, whoa, it's renewed for 5 years now instead of 4. I'm like, ooh, great. So in 5 years, I get to come give you another $45.
Exactly. And they're like, well, in 5 years, it'll be like $60 so you can get ready.
You figure they do that to everybody, on a yearly basis. Obviously, because we're all, for what? To pay for somebody to sit over there at DMV?
Yeah. And
take your picture and do an eye test? Can't we do an eye test? Why do you need to have a fucking eye test? If you can't drive, you can't drive. It's fucking stupid, man. And then you got to have insurance. Insurance is the biggest fucking bunch of bullshit on the planet, dude. Talk about extortion.
Yeah.
It's extortion. Look at the money you've spent in your life on insurance. Think about it.
Oh, my God.
And if you miss a payment or you don't pay it, you're a criminal now. But you've never been in an accident. You've never. I look at it all and I'm like, yeah, I'm a convicted fucking felon. But you know how many fucking moving violations I've had? I had one in 1997. I got a fucking DUI. I got a DUI because I got engaged that night and I was sick and I drank and my fiance was supposed to stay sober, and I just bought a new truck, and I look across the bar, and she's doing Alabama Slammers, And so me and my infinite wisdom decided, I'm like, well, fuck it. She ain't driving, I'll drive. And so I'm going down the main drag in fucking Boise, Idaho, which it's a one-way going this way, and then you go a block, and it's a one-way this. And so they have these carts out there. They're Yankee dogs is what they, these guys with these carts, they're selling these hot dogs. And so, of course, everybody in my truck, they want a Yankee dog because it's 2 a.m. and, we've been drinking and carrying on. And so I pull over to the left on a one-way, and then I pull up right by the red light. The only way I can go is make a left. So I stop. Everybody gets out. They get their fucking Yankee dog. And the light changes to green, and I'm already up against the curb. All I got to do is make a left turn. I make the left turn. I don't put my blinker on. Oh. There's a cop right across the way. He pulls me over. Just a dick. Everybody in the car is freaking. Everybody in the truck's freaking out. They're all stuffing their faces. I'm like, it's okay. I got this. Don't worry about it. Because I've always been fairly decent with dealing with law enforcement. I'm respectful towards them, and I've gotten out of many a pinch just by that, being
just
respectful.
By talking, just
being respectful. Calling, how are you doing, sir? And this happened to be one of those 1 out of 10 times where you run into a dick, and he drug me out. He's like, and the sidewalk there was like slanted like this.
Oh my God!
And so he's making me like walk along the crack in the side, and I'm like, sir, I'm like this. I'm like the sidewalk is like this, and he just barking at me, and I knew right then. I was like, fuck, I'm fucked, So I take a couple steps, and I'm like, I can't walk a straight line on this fucking slanted sidewalk, and he immediately cuffs me, throws me in the back of the car. Of course, he's got a young ride along who's a little dickhead, And I'm in the back, and I realize at that point, I'm like, okay, I'm with the 10%. So now I'm going to be a douche.
Yeah.
Because once you realize that, for the most part, it's like until it escalates to that point, I'm pretty mellow and easygoing and respectful. But when I realize that, hey, this is going to go sideways regardless, it's like, guess what? Now you ran into it. Now you ran into an asshole. And so, I mean, I'm calling the kid names. I'm calling him names. I'm just going off on him, and I end up getting a DUI. I mean, that's the only moving violation I've ever had in my life.
Oh, my God.
And nobody got hurt. Nobody got harmed, I mean, I lost my license for 6 months and, this and that, had to pay a ton of fucking court fees and this and that and the other fucking thing. But, I mean, it was really fucking silly, I mean, I honestly, I was not going to get into an accident. Yes, I was drunk.
Yeah.
However, I was quite adept at being drunk. I was probably better at being drunk than I was at being sober at that time of my life. I mean, it was like,
I have to agree with that statement.
Sober, I'd have been like,
no, that was me in Miami. It's like, every day, it's like, as soon as it was like 4 o'clock, just go drink. It's like,
yeah. And I mean, I wasn't intending on putting anybody in harm's way, but
yeah.
But that's the only time. So I mean, my insurance went up. It doesn't affect me to this day, but yet it's still like every fucking month I gotta pay this insurance. Well, what the fuck? If I don't get in a fucking accident, shouldn't I get my motherfucking money back? I mean, that's something that's something I've thrown around.
Long gone.
Well, something I've thrown around is like if one was to start an insurance company where you just charge somebody for an annual fee, right?
No.
And then if they were not to get in an accident, then the money they pay rolls over to the next year. Because you're still going to make your money off the people that do get in accidents.
Yeah,
and do
that works beautifully, except that they need more money.
Well, that's exactly right. But if you and I were to start an insurance company that was based on that premise, that was like, okay, we will insure you for your liability or what, if you want, full coverage, whatever. And if there's no claim filed against you this year, then it rolls over to the next year.
Yeah.
Until there's a claim filed against you, then your money rolls over. You're still going to get the money because of people that fucking are stupid out there that drive like idiots. I mean,
oh my God.
But you know what? I looked into it, man. There's no way that you could start a company like that. They will not allow it. You can't start an insurance company unless you go to school. It's just like being an attorney. Like I can pass a bar exam, and I have. I've passed the mock bar exam, but I can't get a fucking license to practice law because I've not gone to school and paid them their money. I mean, we live in a society that, it's not based on merit. It's based on your certification. Did you pay the money? Did you pay it's all it's about. Did you pay the money? And it's so fucking stupid, man. Yeah. Money is so retarded and ridiculous. Oh, I said retarded. Oh, that's a bad word. Oh,
what? Why?
Oh my. I mean, that's all it's about. It's the money. And the thing is, the money, I mean, it's only generated by guys like you and I. Yep. The only legit money out there is the money that, we get from our paycheck. The rest of it, they just manufacture. And you go and deposit your bank, like when you get paid, right? Does your money go right into your bank account?
Oh, no.
You get a check?
No.
You don't get a check?
No, it's just, when I get paid at Walmart, it goes directly into a bank account.
So it's a direct deposit.
I never even see that.
Okay, so that money, right? So
yeah.
So so based on the fractional reserve system, your deposit goes into your bank. They are only required to keep 10% of that, this, in your account. The other 90%, they lend out.
Yeah.
With interest. Where's this money coming from? They're just making it out of thin air.
Yeah.
They're just, and it's going to crash. It has to. There's no way that it's not feasible to keep this going.
No.
There's no fucking way. And people are just like, ding. It's like, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And that's what controls all of our endeavors every day. It's money. Yeah. We don't operate based on, being compassionate towards somebody else. We don't operate based on loving our neighbor. We don't do things based on just being decent people. It's all about that fucking bottom line.
Yeah.
What is this worth? What's the value on this? Well, what happens when the value's gone? It's coming.
Yeah.
And then what? I mean, go sit outside and eat grass, eat pine cones.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I mean, everything is gangster, you know, whether it be the city of fucking Cody. I mean, I've written fucking emails to the mayor. It's like, dude, you guys are fucking more gangster than anybody. It's like, you know, I mean, when I had my shop, I was paying $97 a month just in fees. And I was using $10 worth of fucking electricity. And if I didn't pay that fucking stupid bill within 10 days,
oh yeah, you were.
Then they'd shut the shit down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fucking motherfuckers, it's like $97. It's like, you all you can get. It's like, I'm looking at the bill and it says recycling. It's like, you don't get fucking recycling in this town. You know fucking recycling. You just throw your shit in the dumpster.
Yeah.
You know fucking recycling. I mean, maybe you go over to Baumgart's and you throw it in that thing, but then you watch and see what happens. They fucking pull up with a dump truck and they fucking just, it all goes out there to the fucking landfill anyways.
Yeah.
And so you get charged for, so you take your time to take your shit and fucking separate it and go fucking put it in a little bin and then just go dump it all in the same fucking place.
Yeah.
And then they charge you for it. And then they act like they're some kind of righteous motherfuckers. They're not righteous motherfuckers. They're gangster ass fucking bitch ass fucking pieces of shit. I mean, how the fuck am I mean, I got a shop down there. I got well water, right? It's not even potable. You can't drink it. You can't fucking do nothing. I mean, it turns the toilet fucking green. I mean, I don't even like using the water. I mean, I didn't like using it to even clean my fucking paint pumps and shit. I didn't like running it through my fucking, I mean, and it's well water though. It's not from the city. All I had was electric. $10 worth of electric a month cost me $125 a month.
Oh my God.
And it's like, really? Like if I was not in my shop whatsoever at all, $125 a month.
No, hold on. In Mexico.
Not even using it.
In Mexico, since my sister is getting divorced, she's barely at home. She takes her daughters to my parents' house so they can shower there. And my parents take her daughters to school.
Yeah.
Yet somehow she accrued $50 in electricity charges for the last month. For the last 3 months, $50 each month. And then she called them and she's like, why? It's like, it's insane.
Taxes and fees.
It's like, why? I haven't been home. It's like...
Yeah. No, I've gone through the same thing with the city of Cody. I mean, I went through it with the mayor. I know the mayor very well. I've invited him on the show. He's not here.
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, what the fuck, man? I'm like, you know, it was like, I've got this fucking shop that's basically a storage unit. I don't have city water. The only thing I have there, and I had gas for one of the heaters, which I kept on the very low setting.
Yeah.
You know, and Black Hills Energy. I mean, it's all a joke because, I mean, the power in this city of Cody, the city of Cody, it's run by Rocky Mountain Power.
Yeah.
Okay. Who owns that? Oh, Pacific Corp. Who owns that? I mean, you chase it on down the line and you find out who owns it all. And you come back to the same fucking players. You know, BlackRock.
Oh my God.
BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, they all have a share, have a take in each one, and that's how they're able to operate these monopolies. I mean, because you look at it, like in this city, it's a monopoly. You don't have a choice.
No.
Like if you want power, like the power that we're running on right now, if you want this, then you have to pay this fucking city of Cody. Like you don't have any other fucking option.
If you want water, same deal.
You have no other option. If you want heat with natural gas, you got no other option than Black Hills Energy. Who's that owned by? You chase that down, Berkshire Hathaway. Who owns Berkshire Hathaway? Oh, no. Warren Buffett. You know? Yeah. I mean, it's all a fucking monopoly. And, you know, that's what's bullshit is people don't even understand that. They just take it as, you know, it is what it is, and here's your money. Here's my, and I did the same thing when I you know, started my shop up. You know, they're like, well, you know, and I didn't pay my last bill.
Yeah,
because they already take they fucking made me pay a $200 fucking deposit. No, my last bill wasn't that much. Have I got a fucking refund check? No. And I probably won't. And the fucking fucked up thing is the lady that works the billing thing, I painted her fucking house. Her fucking house was a disaster, and I fucking made that thing immaculate. And yet, here she is fucking putting out bills on me and fucking saying I owe this money. And it's like, fucking, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like, I did you a solid for a decent price, and you're going to fucking treat me this way. She called me one time like 4 years after I painted her fucking house. It was just a peely fucking mess. And there was a quarter-size fucking peel mark on the fucking, on the west end of the house that got hit by the wind.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, you know, I offer a 2-year warranty, which is a year longer than any other person in my fucking trade in this town. I always offer a 2-year warranty because I figure if my shit can't fucking withstand 2 years, then I shouldn't be doing it. I'm like, it's been fucking 5 years and it's the size of this. I'm like, the paint is on your back patio where I left it. It's like you could take a fucking Q-tip and go out there and touch that shit up. It's like, I'm not taking my time to go over there and fuck with this shit. You know? I mean, it's 4 years later.
Yeah.
One little fucking thing. And I think that she used that as a way to fucking just, you know, to come at me.
Oh my God.
Threaten me. This, I mean, they'll shut you down. 15 days. You don't pay your fucking knee. You shut your fucking dingy. You know? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's real nice.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the loving community of Coyote, Wyoming.
Yeah, we should probably
Just give me my fucking money.
call it quits for the
I know. I don't care. I'm gonna call it how it is. These motherfuckers, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just straight up fucking gangsters. Same with the goddamn court. The whole fucking system is just a bunch of fucking gangsters. You know, nobody has any. There's no love. There's no respect.
You know what? It's like that's why you stop caring about politics, about anything. It's like,
well, and that's why I do care about it because I guess I'm the type that when I see injustices and fucking shit going.
No, you know, but for me it's funny because before my brain injury, I used to care. Then after the brain injury, it's like, fuck.
I mean, there's like, a part of me that doesn't care, but I also see the bad in it. And it just makes me nuts.
No, see, my father-in-law makes me laugh because every day he's like, "Oh, you've got to watch this Tucker," and I'm like, "Really? You're really
gotta watch what?
Tucker Carlson?"
Oh,
and I'm like, "Really? You're offering me to sit down and watch Tucker Carlson with you?" It's like,
do you want to watch Tucker right now?
No. It's like, you know what? Sometimes I can take Tucker fine. I like the guy.
Well, I can watch anybody too.
Yeah, but it's like, do I really have any?
No, he gets sideways sometimes.
Yeah.
And there's certain people on other media that I can watch too, but I mean, when you're talking about like what we're looking at right now, and he's always got that look. He's like deciding whether he just shit in his pants or not. He's like, did I?
Yeah.
Did I? Maybe I shit my pants. Maybe I didn't.
Oh my God.
He's got that look of consternation.
Yeah.
And then you've got the guest over there. What's she doing? She looks like a blow-up doll. And then you've got the individual.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably a good thing that we can't show the screen right now.
Yeah.
But you've got Leah Thomas over there just gloating in her infinitesimal gloating, like she's got the jacket on, clutching
obviously,
the
don't pay attention to her size and her.
Well, especially when you put her up on a fucking pedestal too. She's already 6'2". Now she's fucking 7'6". And then you got the other two are wearing masks. Why? Yeah. Where's the mask on Leah?
Oh no,
the other two have masks on. This one, look, the one on the right, she's got it down under her nose. This one over here, I don't know what the mask is. Is that it? Might be a fucking, maybe it's Leah's thong. This smells like ball sweat.
Oh my God.
On that note, maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe it's ball sweat. All right. Well, Ricardo,
thank you.
Any closing thoughts?
Fuck.
Good to have you back.
Yes.
Hopefully this goes out there. It will one way or another.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for Ricardo Torres, and I am Phil McGoodies, and we are the Mike Files. And we're going to take you out with a bong hit and some Tom McDonald. So, as we always end it, be good at it.
Yeah.
In all things, be kind, and do no harm.
Yes,
Peace out until the next time. Peace and chicken grease.
They separate us from our neighbors and they call it social distancing. It's actually a bigger plan, it's called social conditioning. They took away our privacy, there's always someone listening. They're rigging the elections, planning riots for the citizens. The government has always lied, it's history repeating. But the problem is the schools dumb you down so you believe them. If you try to speak the truth inside a tweet, then they delete it. Whole administration Satanists who claim they praise in Jesus. Every year there's a new name for enemies that we're facing. It's Al-Qaeda, then ISIS, and now American patriots. Who would have thought those who love the country the most would be hated on by folks who call America home? Both political parties are equally just as evil. They've been working for themselves, don't give a damn about the people. Black, white, yellow, brown, humanity needs you. Cause united we stand, divided they will defeat you. The man on the news says the problem is me. I'm just a small town boy with big American dreams. The world's going crazy and they lying to us. Don't know who to believe, so in God we trust.
Y'all missing what was written in them pages. That was history they wrote, now you wanna change it. You racist, you hate this. Why you want us all to be locked up in cages? I can't stand the left, everything they say's depressing. Ship them to the Middle East, they can learn oppression. Believe me, I mean this quite literal. I love liberty, but I hate white liberals. Wear a mask, stay home, complain and moan. Talk about privilege on your phone in your Range Rover, Starbucks, mango, foo-foo, whatever. The cloth I'm cut from can handle any weather. You just paper in the rain, we ain't the same. Stand for the flag, only kneel when I pray. I just pray we go back to the old days, land of the free, home of the brave.
The man on the news says the problem is me. I'm just a small town boy with big American dreams. The world's going crazy and they lying to us. Don't know who to believe, so in God we trust.
Yeah. I see through all the illusions, refuse to hear rumors or accept that we're losing. Easy to get caught up, consumed by the consumer. Truth is so diluted, people starve off the confusion. Comfort is the killer, your dreams execution. Cool with persecution if I make a contribution. Home of the brave look like a mental institution, and there will be revolution if we can't find resolution. And a threat is a promise, stand up, pay homage. They tell lies, I'm being honest, test of time is upon us. I know that God got us, so I'm fighting in his honor. Hear the cries of the crusaders as we're strapping up our armor. Either set a higher ground or drown in a drama. If I die for what I love, then my death will be nirvana. We fighting for our freedom, don't believe what they've been feeding. Be the change you wanna see, the warrior that we're needing.
The man on the news says the problem is me. I'm just a small town boy with big American dreams. The world's going crazy and they lying to us. Don't know who to believe, so in God we trust. We don't trust the news, the government, or pharma. We just want freedom, that you have that to offer. We don't want the lies, the politics, or the drama. We just want the life that was promised by our fathers. We don't trust the news, the government, or pharma. We just want freedom, that you have that to offer. We don't want the lies, the politics, or the drama. We just want the life that was promised by our fathers.